Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and it's the encouraging word for today. Trials test our faith. It's very clear in the Bible that God allows trials in our lives, difficulties, delays, bad things. He allows things like that to happen in our life to build our faith and to build our godly character. Many verses. One, for example, is James 1:3. Says, because you know the testing of your faith produces perseverance. The testing of our faith produces perseverance. You can't have faith unless it's tested, unless it's tried in the fires of adversity, the fires of troubles, difficulties, delays, all of those kind of things. Now, our tendency, our natural tendency, speaking for myself, is to run away from trials, to run away, to avoid them, to go away from them. I think that's a natural thing. It happens to me. And Abraham, as we saw yesterday, is now faced with a famine, a lack of food in the land that God had promised to him. Wow, God promised this land to him, and now there's a lack of food there? What kind of promise is that? So the question is, what would Abram do faced with this sudden, unexpected difficulty, this trial? What is he going to do? Listen to Genesis 12, verse 10. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. The key question is, was it wrong for him to go down to Egypt? To go down, notice the word down. You're always going up to Jerusalem in the Bible, down to Egypt. Now, in the time of Jacob, Abraham's descendant, God told Jacob to go down to Egypt. In the time of the prophet Ezekiel, God told Ezekiel to tell the people, do not go down to Egypt. When there was a severe famine in the time of Elijah, the prophet, God fed him supernaturally with ravens bringing bread every morning. That happened for 3 years. He was provided for in a time of famine. Was it wrong for Abram to go to Egypt? One thing we know for sure, he did not seek God. And I believe he took matters into his own hands, used his own understanding about the situation, leaned on his own understanding, relied on his own understanding, as opposed to trusting God and seeking God. You see, Abram was just like you and me. We tend to look at the people in the Bible. Wow, there's some kind of superhero. Wow, look at the faith he has. But his faith was tested, just like yours and mine. And he failed in the tests several times in his life. But God wasn't finished with him. And God is not finished with you or me, because the trying of our faith is producing a faith that's worth more than gold. Now, if he had sought God, perhaps God would have said, go down to Egypt. Or maybe God would have said, don't worry, I'm going to feed you supernaturally. In any event, he did not seek God, and we never know, and Abraham will never know what God would have said or what God would have done in his life. And tomorrow we'll see what a mess Abraham gets into when he goes to Egypt. So the lesson for us today is we are all in a growing process, building our faith, just as Abram was. But remember, always seek God. Trust in him with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. So Friday, we continue the journey of faith with the devotional entitled The Downward Spiral of Sin. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.